Hello, hello, hello. Long time, everybody. I know I haven't done videos in a long time, but life happens. It's been one thing after another. Wasn't well initially. Then I lost few very close people to me, and it just became a little bit overwhelming. So I decided to take some time out, some time off, but I'm on the mend. And so I've been thinking about my community. And today I had an interesting discussion with a lady regarding what's going on with coronavirus. Um, Having tried to apply for accommodation with the council, the news was that at the moment the council is overwhelmed with applications. And I think they were talking about 60 to 70 applications only in relation to people that have been displaced because of domestic violence. Yes, I'm back again with that subject. I will not stop talking about it until change starts happening or until change happens. So yeah, um 60 to 70 applications a week attributed to people who have been displaced due to domestic violence. And it got me thinking. There's a lot of talk about don't suffer in silence, don't stay in an abusive relationship, marriage, partnership, whatever it is. Remove yourself. There is help out there. You can be put in a safe place. You can get counseling and stuff like that. There's a lot of focus on the victim and what is being done for the victim at the moment, and that's good. Trust me, I wouldn't encourage anybody to stay in an abusive relationship, but what are we doing about the abusers? Because from personal experience, abuser, once he's not able to abuse me, he's gonna go to the next person. If it's a man, I remove myself from him. He's not gonna stay single, is he? He's gonna start dating again. He's gonna abuse again the next person he dates. Because if he's an abuser and he's not being dealt with, he's just going to repeat it. And the fact that they know, abusers know that this person will remove themselves and will be put into safety. But there's a whole lot of, there's a lot of fish in the sea out there. And at the end of the day, all focus is on the victim. That means it's very easy for them to get away with it. So they might make noise for a week or two about you leaving, about their kids and all that, like trying to hang on to somebody they have spent time grooming so that they can continue doing it easily. But if they come to the realization that this person is actually really gone, all they have to do is take a deep breath, go to the next victim, start manipulating again, start grooming again, start abusing again. And then the cycle just goes on and on and on. I think the law needs to come up with stronger laws against abuse of any kind, be it a woman abusing a man abusing a woman, or adults abusing children sexually, physically, emotionally, whatever form of abuse, especially in domestic settings, especially in household. But nevertheless, any form of violence, there should be more stringent rules against it. Abusers need to be put in their place. They need to be, if it means that they need to be educated about what they're doing, because some people abuse because they've been abused and they're in the psychological zone where maybe they're not taking too much note of what they're doing. They're filled with this rage, anger, bitterness, vengeful mindset. If they have to be uneducated out of that being the response, the common or normal response to somebody harming you. We all normally believe if somebody does you wrong, you need to revenge. But I think research has proved that revenge doesn't always help you. In fact, in most cases, it doesn't. You get an instant feeling of maybe gratification that I've paid him back and whatever, but it doesn't last long and it doesn't have any further positive impact on your life going forward. So maybe if we say some abusers abuse because of what they've been through in the past, then we need to deal with that, help them deal with that, help them make peace with it, help them move forward. Otherwise, if they are abusive because they're just abusive and they don't want to learn and they don't want to stop, they should be punished, and not just a slap on the cheek or a slap on the back. No, proper punishment, one that if someone goes through it, they would think twice before they touch another human being the wrong way. Anyway, back to the subject. It got me thinking while I was talking to this lady that, okay, a lot of talk is going around that coronavirus has actually increased or caused an increase in domestic violence cases. That in a way is true, but I think all it has done is actually opened up that cover that was covering domestic violence that has been going on in households in silence, because people have become stuck together for long periods to the point that there isn't anywhere to go for them to hide this. There isn't anywhere to run except to run to something formal that will help you. And so the increase has not necessarily all been about or all been caused by COVID-19. COVID-19 may have just unveiled the cover that was covering what was already going on. And the fact that now we see this increase in need for services such as housing, counseling, safe shelters, food, and child services, and domestic violence affect the whole spectrum of a human being's life. And the fact that we've seen that increase, my question here is, has there been any plans made for post-COVID-19? Because these cases that have been unveiled are not going to be veiled again. They are not going to be covered again. And these abuses that have now been brought to the open for people to know, that family, the wife left because of abuse, it means people know the husband is an abusive person, or that man had to leave because of abuse. People know that the wife or the woman was an abuser. It means we now know who the abusers are. And when coronavirus is over and done with, we've found a vaccine for it, or we found ways of dealing with it properly, and we are back to the new norm. Has there been plans made for these cases? Because they're not gonna go away as long as abusers are being allowed to get away with it. There's not gonna, it's just gonna be the same increase even post COVID-19. And as long as the laws are not as tight, I think they're not as tight as they should, especially where I come from in Zimbabwe. I think they're not as tight. I don't think they're as tight here either, because some of the things that I've seen happening. So, food for thought. Who wants to talk about this? Let's talk about this. Let's prepare ourselves. Sometimes some of things ending starts with us strategizing on how we're going to help ourselves out of situations or prevent getting into situations. Food for thought, guys. Comments, suggestions, or link up with me. Let's strike a conversation. Let's strike a conversation. Maybe a Zoom meeting, maybe a live Facebook video. Let's talk about this. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's be proactive. Let's not just wait for the law to deal with this. As human beings as well, we can think of things to implement that will protect us, prevent abuse, prevent domestic violence once and for all. Have a lovely day. Interesting that I come back and I talk about such a topic, but hey, I'm passionate about positive communities and happy communities. And if somebody is being abused and nothing is being done, I'm not happy. And then the community is not totally happy either. Have a lovely day. Be blessed. Thank you.